quite an introduction, and it's been quite a whirlwind, as I'm sure all of you guys know. It's kind of hard to keep anything quiet nowadays. Social media and all the things and all the access. My family was kind of wondering, I said, well, why don't we have an opportunity to go down there and meet with them and see them? I said, well, you leave off outside your house and everybody knows what's going on. So I appreciate, I know that the teammates, the entire team, their ability to hear and see all the different things out there. I appreciate you guys having the patience, and I actually had to speak to them for the first time today via an iPad in my office in Columbus. So that's not exactly how I envisioned doing this, but I appreciate those guys and everything that they do and holding tight in the situations that they're in. So I'm going to start by telling everybody how extremely excited I am to be the new head football coach of the University of Cincinnati. This is a true dream to me. As a man who grew up, born and raised, a family that's born and raised in the great state of Ohio, to have this opportunity is an honor and truly a blessing. This is not a job to me, and I think I told Mike this the very first time I talked to him. I said, this is not a job to me. And what I mean by that is a job is a means to provide for your family. A job is what it is that you do. This is a role to me. This is a role to me because it's a passion of mine. It's who I am. It's in every fiber of my body. To be a leader and to be a mentor of men. And I know I told Mike that, and I want to make sure that our players and everybody knows that that's what this really means to me. There's going to be a lot of thank yous, and I got to start truly by thanking Mike, our AD, our leader. Thank you for having the faith and confidence to give me this opportunity to lead the Cincinnati football program. You coming into my home and making my family a big part of this is extremely classy and something I'll never forget. And I appreciate that. Thank you. To Dr. Beverly Davenport for the support, the blind faith of not ever seeing me or meeting me, but seeing just the analytics and believing in everybody. I appreciate it. I look forward to working with you, even if it is only for a short amount of time. I owe an incredible amount of thank yous to so many people. And we would be here forever if I tried to thank everyone. But you can't get this far in this profession or in life without an amazing amount of people that support you and help you out. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention at least a few of them that impacted my professional career and my life in general. Probably starts with John Cooper, who was my college football coach, who got me into this profession. Offered me a GA job, and I started working for him. To Lee Owens. Lee Owens was the guy that first gave me my first opportunity, hired me at the University of Akron and gave me my first job. Jim Tressel, who showed me what coaching was really about. And then obviously Coach Urban Meyer, who pushed me to the point to where I am today of being a head football coach. To all my players, to all the guys that I had the fortune of coaching, I got to thank them. They're the ones that really taught me what it really is, and what coaching is really about as well. And they're the ones that actually fueled this passion that I have to coach football, to lead men, to develop and to grow in this field that I'm in today. The last group that I would like to thank is probably the one that deserves it the most, and that's my family. My son Landon, who we're going to get him to smile here, but as an 8th grader, when you lose a basketball game, it's not always the most exciting day, but that's kind of how it is in our family. It's not always good when things don't go well and you lose a game. But to Luca, my daughter, to Ashton and Aiden, our first set of twins, and then to Lakin and Lucian, our second set of twins, thank you for supporting me in this, in us in this journey. And finally, to obviously my best friend, the leader of our family, the one that is a true Bearcat, who was grown up, born and raised, might have been a Spencerville Bearcat, but a true Bearcat. The true leader, like I said, the rock. And I wouldn't be who I am today without you. I love you, I appreciate it, thank you very much. And now, obviously, to the University of Cincinnati, to the city of Cincinnati. I'm not going to stand up here and promise you wins and championships, but what I am going to promise you is that we'll put a product on the field that you will be extremely proud to call your own. Our team will play with great passion, great intensity, great toughness, and an incredible amount of class. We will do this by building a culture that relies on everyone being accountable, like I told those guys, accountable to one another, and realizing that in the game of football, like life, together everyone achieves more. We as a program will focus not on goals. Sometimes people don't understand that. We won't focus on goals. Goals to me are too broad and too long term. We will focus on objectives. Objectives are things that can be evaluated every single day. Will we grind? Will we truly, truly, truly have the passion to work to what it is that we want? A lot of people say they will, but will they truly have the passion to work for what they want? Will they have attention to detail? Will they really do the little things it takes to be successful? Will they have fun, be fundamentally sound, whether it's in the football, on the field of football, or in life in general? And will they truly love their brothers? Will they have a selfless commitment to one another to do the things that we're expecting you to do? This will determine how fast we will grow our program. I'd also like to take a moment to address the former Bearcat football players. Please know that our doors are always going to be open. You are the ones that built this program into what it is today, and I want you to know that they are always welcome. I don't know a ton of them, but I'm excited to have them back to make sure that we know that we open our doors to those guys. And to the Ohio high school football coaches, we want them to know that our doors are always open as well. Recruiting obviously will be the lifeline to our program, and we know we must do our best job right here in our city, in our state, and truly within the 300-mile radius of our campus. We must reconnect with the high school football coaches and make sure they know how passionate we are about developing, pushing, and caring for our student athletes. There's no better high school football than the city of Cincinnati and in the state of Ohio. And finally, what can you expect from our football team and our football program? I promise you'll see a fast, physical team that plays with relentless effort, incredible intensity, and a love and care for one another. Obviously, everybody wants to hear about offense. Offensively, we will be an up-tempo team. There's nothing that we will do slow. There's nothing that we will do in our program that is slow and methodical. We won't walk slow, we probably won't eat slow, and we won't move slow. We will spread the field, we will run the ball, and we will create mismatches. Defensively, we will be extremely aggressive. We will challenge everything, and we will have a burning desire to be the best tacklers in the country. I can't explain to you guys exactly how excited I really am to be the head football coach at the University of Cincinnati, to be a great part of this institution, as well as a part of this great city. I look forward to it. Like I said, we're excited about it. I'm excited to bring my family. I'm excited to get to know our team, and I'm excited to get started. With that, I appreciate it. I thank you. Go Bearcats. Stand up, Tim?
Yeah. Getting the news out.
Usually Tim's the guy that asks the first question, so if we're going to take questions.
Tim, go ahead. Lead us off. Luke, is this, when it comes right down to it, is this as ideal a head coaching job as you could get based on your experience, I mean, based on where you're from, et cetera?
I don't know that there's ever anything ideal. I know that, like I told Mike, this is when my passion to take that next step kind of was something that started to change for me. My wife and I would sit up at night and talk about things, and she would always kind of say to me, wow, that would be an unbelievable experience if we could go to the University of Cincinnati. It was just something, ironically, that probably 5-6 years ago that she brought up to me. Obviously it is, it's unbelievable for me, for my family, to have this opportunity, but it's so exciting because I know what the football's like, not only in this city, but in this state, and I think that's what gives us incredible opportunity to be successful.
What did, that 1 year, you know, was really tough situation in your coaching job at Ohio State. But what did you learn most from just that experience?
There's a lot of things I learned. How to fall forward is a big one. But I promise you this, we all are the experiences that we go through. And I'm a much better person, I'm a much better coach because of that. I told these guys, that when they talked to me, I said there was 3 things that I learned from the top of my head. 3 things that I learned in that experience. Number one is you got to be who you are. You got to be who you are. You can't fake it. And just like in an interview, you can be someone you're not for 30 or 40 minutes, but by the end of that time, by the end of that hour, they're going to know that ain't really you. And it's the same thing in running a program. You know, you can try to be somebody or not, but the reality is you can't have consistency in the things that you need to do every single day if you're not who you are. You got to have great people around you. If you don't have great people around you, you're going to struggle. And I think that's the ability to be able to delegate, to trust in those guys that are around you is paramount. And then there's some things offensively and defensively that I just know. I mean, it's, you know, in those types of situations that I learned that you really got to be able to draw back on the way that you're trained. And that's why, for us, I know the way we train this football team is going to put them in the toughest, most difficult situations on a daily basis, so we don't have to find out on 4th and 2 in the 4th quarter of what they're really made of.
Coach, how much did you wrestle with staying with the program at Ohio State through the playoff or coming here and getting straight?
Well, I told these guys earlier when I was in the locker room, I said I want them to know the reason why that I'm going to continue to coach for Ohio State. And the only reason is because of players. And I want them to understand and know that I'm committed to players. And I looked those guys in the face down there and make sure that they understood that I'm committed to them. And I was never going to start something that I couldn't finish. And I know that those guys would respect that, because in the long run, in whatever situation, I'll always have their back. They'll know that I'm going to, whatever I start, I'm going to finish. There's other things that obviously I think it can be a great springboard and some publicity to running our program and to getting our program some air and things like that. But it really comes down to student athletes. The ability to look those guys in the eyes and know that you're going to always take care of them, you're going to be there for them, and you're going to start what you finished.
Coach, another guy several years ago from Ohio State, he was coordinator Mark D'Antonio, came here, first head coaching job. You had a chance to speak to him about what Cincinnati's all about?
There's one of the really good friends that I have in this profession, and he had a lot to do with probably the situation that I'm in right now, is helping me out and just getting your foot in the door. And again, a lot of this, everything that we do, it's about the ability to open that door and then to be able to, for you to go in and close it. So Mark is a good friend of mine. I have stayed very close to him in the past 10 years. I coached with him, for him, for 2 years, and he has been a big part of it, and he has told me and filled me in on a lot of things. I actually was probably that close to coming with him, whatever, I don't know how many years ago, when I was with him at Ohio State, and when he came here, he actually offered to take me with him, and it just wasn't the right time for me and my family.
Speaking of that, if you offered anybody in Ohio State a chance to come with you, I mean, there's been speculation that Gary Combs is part of the deal almost.
No, we got a lot to do right now,
yeah.
and for our program right here, and there's nothing that we've done right now. We're going to go to the drawing board. We got a lot of guys that I've talked with and things outside of our other programs, but nothing set in stone right now. There are probably a couple guys in here right now that will be a part of our program. A guy back there named Marcus Freeman that's a player that played for me, but will be a guy that will be a part of our program. A guy named Doug Phillips, who's back there in the back, who's a longtime Ohio high school coach, coached in college for 6-7 years. He's been around, but he'll be another guy that will be a big part of our program.
Look, there's a lot of competition here in town as far as eyeballs for sports fans, the Reds and the Bengals, big-time college basketball. When you take a job like this, do you see yourself as selling the program to get people, again, interested in UC football the way that you're used to it being interested in maybe Columbus? Obviously, that's a different level, but just the idea of that you're competing with eyeballs here in the city.
There's no doubt. We got to do everything we can. We got to endear ourselves to the entire city, and I think that's a big part of it. You know, just like we got to recruit this city. You know, not just the high school football players, but we got to recruit the city of everybody, because we got to have a great product. We want to make them proud of it. We want to make them a part of it. And that's not just my job. That'll be a big part of what I do. That's the job of our players as well. We need to be out in the community. We need to do things. We need to make sure that we're out in front. You know, we're going to support every athletic program in this university, and in return, they're going to support us as well. And I think that's a big part of it, to sell everything that we do. I'm fully committed to that. I know that's going to be a part of it, and I'm actually excited about doing it.
Coach, how much was this opportunity, Mike Bone, presenting it to you, and how much was it you presenting yourself to him as something that you felt like you were ready for and ready to take that next step?
I knew I was ready for it. I don't know exactly if you wanted to ask him that question. I know that I was ready to present myself to him when he walked in my house. Regardless of everything else that was going on, this isn't something that I just started preparing for a couple weeks ago. This was something that made a conscious decision probably over a year ago. My passion had kind of, not changed, but had shifted in some ways. I'm a passionate person, and I've always been passionate about coaching the game of football, whether it's defense or offense. And then a little bit of that passion had kind of shifted into building a program, developing a culture, and leading a big group of young men. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's not just about saying you want to do something, it's about actually preparing and having that mindset and understanding exactly what it is that you're going to do. This isn't some type of thing that just happened a couple weeks ago. This is something that's been prepared for quite a while and got a heck of a plan.
When the job came open, how aggressive were you in making sure they knew that you were interested and that you wanted the job?
I don't know. I haven't done this a whole lot, so I don't know in what scale. I guess that would be a relative term, is to say how aggressive are you. I'm a pretty aggressive person. I guess you could ask Mike in scales to what other people did. I know in my mind I was pretty aggressive. I mean, I've never, to be honest with you, I told Mike this, I've never wanted something like this since I can remember. So I know the things that I went through, and I know the people that I tried to have communicate. I was very aggressive. He'd have to determine whether that was aggressive compared to others, but in my mind, I had the right ones called.
Luke, Tom Herman went through kind of a similar situation, took a job and then won a national championship. What did you learn, I guess, from that experience, and how harrowing will it be the next several weeks, doing both jobs to a certain extent, but also playing Santa Claus, I guess, in the middle of it?
Well, we might have to leave Santa Claus to Mrs. Claus over there, but she kind of does pretty much most of that anyway, whether I was trying to juggle two things or not. I know it's going to be difficult, but I got an obligation.